The show is about to start.
Roger, we have liftoff.
In 3, 2, 1.
Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Come on down tonight. Come on. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Everything gonna be all right. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Come on down today. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. It's a great place to stay.
Back again for number 10. Join Big B, DK, and Mike Jolitz for all the hot topics.
Oh, we lost it. All the hot topics, all the news, all the fun, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Cave Crew Radio pre-show. It feels like, to me, Big B, summer is arriving.
Yes, and we as far as my epicenter goes, we can get into it much more during my epicenter. But yes, this weekend is a big weekend.
Well, I hope it's the one you told me about last week.
I don't remember what I told you about last week.
It was a certain thing with James that was a kerfuffle.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
You might have a double epicenter tonight.
I don't even know if that would be an epicenter. That's just kind of an update on
a story. Okay.
Yeah, that's just a story. That's not that wouldn't be an epicenter.
But we also have breaking news. I have like kind of double breaking news. So you've got double. I've got double breaking news, and we have a double Twitter shits tonight.
It's doubles night.
Yeah. Excuse me. I know it's early.
It's doubles night, ladies. It's 2 for Friday. Never mind 2 for Tuesday. It's 2 for Friday. But yes.
So yeah, like I don't know how far you are along, but I've spent probably the past 2 weekends. I can't take credit because the kid did most of it, but we got the new metal gazebo built.
Mm-hmm.
There is a new fire pit that just came in that also doubles as a table.
Aha.
Upgrade on the old propane fire pit, which we also have a wood fire pit. It's kind of a redundant thing, but that needs to be built. There's a few plants that need to be potted, but the vegetables are in. Everything's ready. The lawns are cut. Of course, they need to be cut again, but I think I'm in shape to enjoy a partial weekend.
Do you get free propane?
Yes. Yes, of course I do.
Sometimes places won't let you.
No, I'm the boss, so I can.
Well, no, you're not the boss. You're a boss.
I'm a boss of a plant of a company that claims to be very big, but doesn't manage things as tight as you would think.
But yes, so you get free propane.
Yeah, it's one of the perks. No, it is. It's one of the perks. We still get free propane, so. I've got like 4 20-pounders. I've got a 30-pounder. I've got like everything kind of stored up in case I can't get some at a certain point. And barbecue never dies. Smoker's electric, but I think of pulled pork again this week.
See, now I have a question about propane storage. Does it matter if it's in direct sunlight or not? Like, it's not going to explode.
No. Listen, if you just like open it and you got a leak in a hose and you light a lighter, it's going to blow up, right? But it's one of the safest things. It's one of the most regulated industries, at least in Canada, and I'm sure in the United States. You don't hear a lot of propane explosions except for people being absolute idiots.
Right.
I have 55,000 gallons plus another 2,000 gallon plus all the cylinders I have on my site, and I don't lose any sleep at night going to work. You know what I mean?
But it's something I always wonder. Like I have 2 propane tanks for my grill, one using and one spare. When it runs out, I just replace it with the other one. But storing the spare, I always wanted to make sure it was covered because I never wanted it in direct sunlight. Because in my mind, for some reason, it would direct sunlight in like 100-degree weather in the summer would kind of be bad for it. I don't know why I thought that.
I'm going to tell you something, but first I'm going to kill the timer because I never started it. So what's the point of it being there? It's going to be one of those nights. So regulation in Canada, I'm sure it's the same in the States. You fill to 80% capacity. That's the maximum, right? So under heat. So when we use propane, it's a vapor, right? But in the tank, it's a liquid and it expands under heat. So the 80% filling allows for those 80, 90-degree days. And no, your propane tank will not explode.
See, these are things I never knew. And I always, like I said, I really always wanted to make sure it was like, because I cover my grill, so I wanted to make sure it's under the cover to make sure no sunlight hits it. I was, not that I was ever worried that it would blow up my backyard, but just take precaution, kind of.
Now, you using that torch, I worry a little bit, but it's not the tank. It's the torch I worry about.
But why would you worry about the torch?
Well, you're so reckless with it. You were trying to beat down like 4 feet of snow with a 20-pound tank.
Well, that's all I have. I get the Home Depot propane tanks. They don't sell 55-gallon drums of propane that you can buy easily.
Yeah, you might need a license for that. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah. All right, kids, listen, we have a really good show, and we're going to start in about a minute. Double Twitter shits, possible double epicenter, possible double breaking news, all kinds of great stories. Whatever we don't get to, we carry to the next week. You know how it goes. We've got some great ideas because the endless summer is almost upon us. Big B and I can feel it. Hey, but you didn't answer before we start. Did you get your garden ready yet?
We're not doing a garden this year.
Nothing.
No, my wife is doing a couple of plants, but otherwise, no, we're not doing a garden this year.
And a quick FYI before we go live, I also have a screen projector where I will be showing movies.
Ooh, look at you.
Outside. I forgot to tell you about that. All right, kids, here we go. It's time to go live. Let's click on Pulse Talk Radio. And, of course, our radio. Give me a second here. And we will bring you another entertaining show. Don't forget to remind me of the 2 big announcements.
I'm writing it down now.
All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Air traffic control, bring in New York. Roger that. Bring in Canada. 10-4. Gentlemen, we have liftoff.
Bam! We are back again for number 10. Cave Crew Radio, Season 10. Let's go. CaveCrewRadio.com.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men. Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of being men.
I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Today's broadcast of The Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am. And I go
a place like a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Craven, what else are you going to do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball. It's a power play goal.
This is Cave Crew Radio. Yes, it is, ladies and gentlemen, Cave Crew Radio. My name is DK, and if you have not been following me over the past few weeks, I have put a complaint into our streaming service that I don't like, that I feel like I'm like a thumbnail camera angle, and I'm trying everything. I've had no response yet, but the show must go on, and it will. So here we go. There, that's a little better. We are live on cavecrewradio.com. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook, and we are available wherever great podcasts can be found. And ladies and gentlemen, if you missed the pre-show and you're listening on the podcast, or you're just joining us, tonight is doubles night. Yes, we have doubles of everything for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Double breaking news, double Twitter shit, a double minor epicenter, perhaps. We've got all kinds of fun. And Mike Jolitz, who is in chat with us, good evening, Mike, is involved in both my major announcements, which will be happening just a little bit later. So you're going to want to stand by. We have news. We have Mike reads the news, and we have Talking FLA, all, of course, time permitting. But first of all, ladies and gentlemen.
And now, he is the king of the sovereign county of Urain Stench and Stenchlandia, the commander-in-chief of the Water Gypsies, the self-proclaimed president of the United States, a university graduate, and always the epicenter of something. Ladies and gentlemen, His Royal Highness Big B.
Yes, live from Queens, New York, I am King B, King of Stenchlandia and the Water Gypsies, your president-elect of the United States of America. And as always, the epicenter of something. This week, I am the epicenter of Meat Fest 2023.
Oh, this is exciting.
Meat Fest 2023. As you may or may not know, this weekend is a big weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend here in the U.S., which is the unofficial start of summer. And to mark the unofficial start of summer, I have a meat delivery coming tomorrow from Snake River Farms, which includes Wagyu steaks, Wagyu ground beef. I got some steak seasoning coming in another order coming tomorrow, in a different order coming tomorrow. I got ribs coming. I got other pieces of meat on its way tomorrow. So we're stocking the freezer that's over there and getting ready for Meat Fest 2023. Very exciting.
This is really awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, let us know at cavecrewradio@gmail.com or on our Facebook page at Cave Crew Radio, right here in chat. If you would like to see Big B and I do our live barbecue smoking cook-offs.
Ooh.
My attire is nowhere near what Big B has, but no one has ever walked away or denied a second chance of my cooking. So
it doesn't matter the size of the smoker, it's how well you cook it.
Well, I heard once you come pellet, you never go back.
I wouldn't know because I don't have a pellet smoker. I have a gravity-fed charcoal smoker.
Yes, you are a charcoal guy. I'm electric on the smoking because I don't have the confidence yet, and also propane.
Well, I'll tell you what I do. What I found last year. I love my gravity-fed charcoal smoker. It's great, but I didn't feel I was getting enough smoke flavor in. So what I did is I bought a smoker tube. It's a metal tube.
I've had one of those, yeah.
Right. You fill with and I fill it with a mix of Traeger and charcoal pellets. And you light that as well. So that adds additional smoke and additional flavor to your meats. Everything's coming out great since I've been using it.
We're still waiting, ladies and gentlemen, for Mrs. B's drink book and Big B's smoking book to be available on Amazon. And I hear it's quite cheap to publish things these days.
I will tell you this. I have a binder upstairs with
you have a book for everything.
I have a binder filled with
I bet you have a book for when you brush your fucking teeth.
I don't have that, but I have a binder upstairs for all the recipes that I have for smoking. They're, I print them out on the printer paper and I put them in the protective sheets and put them in the binder. And we also have my wife, Mrs. B, has her drink recipe book that she writes down all these things in. So yes, we do have our books. They're just not publicly for sale.
What I keep covered, ladies and gentlemen, is internal temperatures of meat. Because no matter if it tastes good or not, I don't want people to get IBS after eating my food.
That's 100%. And with that, with the meat fest, so I just ran out of these are fire starters.
Oh, okay.
So for the gravity fed, so it's just basically it's a brick, but they're broken up into 8 chunks.
I use those to start my wood fire.
Right. Yeah. So I'll light this underneath the charcoal and light it so the charcoal comes down. And
before you go to your second epicenter,
I still have something else here.
Oh, okay.
So this came the other day as well. It seemed to my meat thermometer that I have was kind of a cheap one that I got from Amazon, I don't know, 2 years ago. And it was kind of like I was doing chicken last week and the temperatures were all over the place. I just decided to pull the chicken and the chicken was perfectly done. So there was something wrong with the thermometer. So I went out, I bought myself a Thermopro Lightning thermometer, and it's a prong thermometer. So when I open it up, there you go. It reads the temperature, and so it'll give me accurate temperatures inside the meat. So like you, obviously you have to keep an eye on the internal temperatures of the meats. 165 for chicken. You're looking at 145 for pork, but you could go way over that depending on what you're making. So yeah, these are a couple of the new things that I have. Getting ready for
that's a smashing thermometer. Mine is nowhere near that. Usually we're interrupted at this point, ladies. Oh, I didn't want to go solo,
and we lost him. I don't know where he went. He is gone now. As we wait for him to come back. So
there I am. I don't want to be solo.
Hey.
It's pretty hard when you're a producer and a host. Now I forgot what I was going to fucking tell you. Oh,
you said we were waiting for.
You were talking about your fire starter before you tell me your second epicenter.
Yeah.
So I have like a propane fire pit inside the gazebo.
Mm-hmm.
And I had told you that we installed a new metal gazebo. Well, Jake did all the work. And apparently now that doesn't cosmetically fit the look of the new gazebo. So we're getting rid of the circular, regular propane fire pit.
Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow, I'm not setting it up. He can. We have like a table. So it can be a table. And you can remove a piece of the table and it becomes a fire pit.
And whose idea was this?
This was my son and my wife conspiring against me, trying to get me not to retire. This is probably my epicenter, Big B, is my family is intent that I will not retire because they continually, oh no, we need this, we need that. And you know what? Like, do what you want now. You
Well,
have
last year, I think it was last year, was the new kitchen.
Yep. That was during COVID. Yes.
That was during COVID. Okay. So now, so you got the new kitchen that I'm sure you're still paying for.
Yeah.
Now
No, that was paid. That was my cruise money that paid for that. I'm not in debt for that. I'm not.
Got it. But it's always something.
Here's the deal. I'm not in debt, but to finance their lifestyle, I need to continue to work.
They do have an extravagant lifestyle.
Now
they live in good means.
Yes, but I don't want to work anymore. So before we get to your second epicenter, because it is doubles night,
yes,
I do want to tell you, my son turns 19 on the 31st. Is that Wednesday?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's next week.
Next weekend, not show night, but Saturday, I will take him to the casino. I'll take him for a nice meal. We will go to the casino and we shall play blackjack, baccarat, and poker together.
How nice. Are you fronting the funds?
Well, I just told you I can't retire. Anyway, you had this big epicenter before this bullshit about the meats and showing your big thermometer like you're Ron Jeremy of
it wasn't an epicenter.
Smokers. You had another moment, because you won't clarify for people because sometimes they're first time listeners. Leading up to this, the epicenter was either that you're fucking deaf, and I notice you don't have your Wi-Fi thing on for the show. Yeah, you're not using it for the show.
Yeah, I have headphones in.
Well, anyway, we talked about that. And then it was like all the religious ceremony leading up, the practice wafer, the practice communion. And you told me in chat there was a kerfuffle in the church.
Right. And I never said it was an epicenter. I just said, remind me to tell you about the two.
I'm going to go back and prove you wrong. Anyway, what was it?
I will pull it up as I'm telling you the story. So last Saturday was the communion, and it was all going according to plan. And they're in the middle. It took like an hour and a half for whatever reason.
It's your fault for being Catholic, not mine.
For the next show, I have the story of the interruption during communion. Never said it was the epicenter.
All right. Well,
the story.
When you tell me that, it's like going to be something major.
So we're in the process of the mass because it's a full mass, and then the entire church has to come up and get communion and all this, the whole thing. But before the communion part actually starts, the priest is up there talking, and they have a photographer and a videographer up front, filming and taking pictures for all the parents. And obviously, you're not supposed to come in front of them, right? But all of a sudden, there's these three people come walking around right in front of the videographer and the photographer, come down the middle of the aisle and go a little bit to my right, a little bit behind me on the other side. All of a sudden, everybody starts, like a commotion at a sports game when somebody's in a fight. They turn their attention away from the event and look to what's going on back there. Suddenly, everything stops in the church. I see a woman, as I stand up to look, I see a woman kind of go like this. And it looks like...
I don't even care about the rest of the story now. Can you please do that again? Obviously, people on audio won't know what you're doing.
Well, you have to watch the show in order to do it. But she did this.
Okay, love it. I can't wait.
And nobody knows what's happening. All we hear is whatever the person's name is over and over. Somebody saying the person's name over and over and over again. So we can't tell what's going on. And now this will have to wait because...
Oh, geez, I'm not even ready yet. I was so involved in this story. Hang on a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I do have it here, even though the soundboard crashed.
Mrs. B presents the drink of the week.
Oh, I like that camera angle. But that's not the one I wanted.
There you go. So
There
there you go. So you're a camera inside a camera. So this is
Remember
what's
what I pushed to get the one I like, though.
so this is called a Shamrock Shake, and it is
It's not even green, though.
it well, you can't see. It's green because of the lighting. It's green and chocolate.
Okay.
It's mint chocolate chip ice cream, vanilla liqueur, vanilla mint Baileys, and chocolate syrup. So it's basically an alcoholic milkshake, and it's rimmed with gold sugar.
So never mind getting drunk. Your diabetes is about to spike.
I'm going to pass out from high blood sugar.
Oh my God, I'm not being witness to this on air. And of course, Mrs. B, is that the only one?
Is this the only one? She said there's a little bit more she's going to bring down. She's also bringing me a straw.
I'm going to tell you why she's not bringing him more, ladies and gentlemen. Last week on the show, when we had Mike Joliet's live, he was supposed to make the watermelon vodka last for 2 days. He did not.
Oh, that was a gigantic pitcher. We finished it off the next day. So that's the drink of the week.
Oh,
So
there's the one I like.
there
Okay.
you go. So back to the story. So all I hear is somebody calling this woman's name, and there's no answer, and everybody's surrounding them. Now, of course, everything stopped. The kids have no idea what's going on. Neither do the adults, because nobody's saying anything. And you're hoping that somebody's not dead in the middle
What's
of
the
this ceremony.
priest doing at this point?
First, he was just standing at the altar, like looking. Then he went down to the crowd and I guess found out what was going on. And then, so there's that interruption. Then in the middle of the interruption comes another interruption where the priest then speaks to somebody that comes from the outside, goes back up and into the microphone says, "Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, there is somebody parked in the garages across the street and the neighbor is very angry. Please move your car."
In the middle of a religious ceremony.
In the middle of someone, we don't know if they're dying or not, and in a religious ceremony. Somebody is parked in the garage.
Did they give, like, they usually read the serial number or something?
The license plate number. No, they didn't read the license plate number this time. My wife is just shaking her head. They didn't read the license plate number, but that was in the middle of the interruption. Came the interruption for somebody to move their car because the neighbor was very mad.
Oh.
And then we still don't know what's going on with the lady over here. We don't know what's going on with the lady over here. So my son and all the kids are like, "What's happening?" We don't know. Just sit there. One of the girls across the aisle is crying because she doesn't know what's going on. Finally, the priest never tells us what happens. He comes up and says, he goes after he makes the announcement of somebody move your car. He goes back down to the crowd, then comes back up and says, "She'll be okay. The ambulance was called. Anyway, God said this, that, and whatever," and goes immediately back into the ceremony as if nothing ever happened.
So somebody had a seizure or a heart attack or whatever happened.
I have no idea. I still don't know what happened. But there was an ambulance that was there once everything finally finished with the communion. As we're going outside, the ambulance was still sitting there. I don't know why the ambulance was still sitting there.
Maybe just needed hydration or...
I don't know. I know they opened all the windows in the church after that.
She shit her pants.
I have
She
no
shit her
idea.
pants.
I have absolutely no idea. But this took like a good 15, 20 minutes. Like,
Did
you're
the
just
car
sitting there
get
like, what
moved?
the fuck? Huh?
Did the car get moved?
I have no idea. I think because they made another announcement, it might not have originally, because he did come back up, afterwards and say, "Please move your car," blah, blah, blah. And then, we finally got resolution. Well, not resolution, but we finally started the ceremony again. But it was a good 15, 20 minutes of just standing there, having an interruption and an interruption of the interruption.
Excuse me.
Excuse me while he writes things down. The interruption of the interruption.
Yes.
So yeah, it was the most. I've never had a more eventful communion between my older son, my communion that from what I can remember of it, and now with my younger son. Never had a more eventful communion than that one. We had angry neighbors and somebody almost dying.
Now, here's a great deal though. An interruption of an interruption fits right into the theme of the show.
It's doubles.
It's doubles nights. All right. Yeah. I have a feeling we're not going to get through everything tonight. How about we go to the first Twitter shit?
I'm good with that.
And then when we get back, I will give you my double
announcements.
Ooh. So that sounds good. Because Mike Jolitz, ladies and gentlemen, was live last week. Did not have a Twitter shit, but he has graced us with 2 tonight. So let's go to our first Twitter shits. I have my pen ready.
Now, it's time for another edition of Twitter Shits with Mike Jolitz.
Mike Jolitz Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Jolitz Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Jolitz Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads the fucking shit. All right.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back again to the Twitter Shits. Guys, this is where I take a story and tell you what Twitter had to say about it. This time, I'm going to read Twitter comments regarding Aaron Rodgers, who may or may not have injured himself during a practice for the NFL season. Yeah, apparently he may have hurt his calf. Not sure, but, anyway. This is what Twitter had to say about it. At Sarah tweeted, "Buck up, K-Ron." It's probably a hangnail. At Pete fucking off tweeted, "He twisted his ankle trying to lift his first paycheck." At Mike Magic tweeted, "Not our problem anymore." Derek the Ghost tweeted, "Weight of the bag he just grabbed is probably too much." At Bobbin My Meat tweeted, "Oh darn." At Jonathan Fag tweeted, "Did he hurt his mangina?" At Bill Tugging His Skin tweeted, "That's just a hurt, not an injury. It's an owie." At John Holmes tweeted, "Holy crap, it's a strained calf. You freaking kidding me? Get a life." Calm down, bro. At Brian Cube tweeted, "Biggest non-story I ever read in my life." At I Just Queef tweeted, "It's me. Calm down, everybody." At The Clitoris Is a Myth tweeted, "His first excuse already." And finally, in the Twitter shits, at Hey Blitzo tweeted, "Oh my God, it's all over now. The sky is falling. The sky is falling." Alrighty, guys, that does it for this quick Twitter shits. I'll be back with some more of this silly nonsense that I like to do later. Bye-bye.
Mike Jolitz Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Jolitz Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Jolitz Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads the fucking shit. All right.
Yeah, I have those in the middle of the night. We call them Charlie horses. Usually still go to work.
Yes.
All right, you ready? Top 5. I've had better. Okay. Maybe the next one will be better. You can throw some in if you want. Number 5. Brian Cubed.
Okay.
Number 4. Derek the Ghost. Number 3. I Just Queefed. Number 2, Pete fucking off.
Pete fucking off. Good old
And my favorite is Pete tugging his skin.
So the Twitter handle winner for the night is Pete tugging his skin.
Did you have any others?
Me and my meat.
Oh, I missed that one.
That was very early.
All right, there you go, folks.
It was like it was either like the second or third one. Me and my meat.
I almost want to go into it again. I think we should. And then we'll get our next 5.
Well, I think we could do the announcements.
Oh, debate, yeah. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, it's doubles night.
It is doubles night.
So I did have one announcement that I originally made. Let me check in case it's gone up. No, it's still the same. Remember this number, 6467. 6467.
Got it.
It's happened where? On TikTok.
Okay, now I know this isn't as major an announcement as some of the stories we read. She had 1 million views on TikTok, or they had 40,000. So most of our TikTok videos, ladies and gentlemen, range anywhere between 500 and maybe 2,500. We have never hit 6467 on a TikTok video. Cave Crew Radio, by the way, is all you have to search. Was Mike Reads the News Live. And of course, we put it on Twitter, we put it on Instagram. It should be over on Facebook, if not yet, very soon. I don't know if that puts us into like a bronze level influencer yet.
So the video of Mike Reads the News Live got 6,467 views.
Which is a record for
Cave
us.
Crew record.
Yeah. I told you I could play many times. I think all our product is very good, but sometimes we get 500, sometimes we get a couple thousand, but 6467 is the number, and it usually continues to go up as it's on the platform.
Right.
My question would be, does that make us some form of a minor league influencer?
I will say yes. Sure. Yeah. I think once you go over 5,000, you've entered influencer territory.
Right. You're at like 300 likes and 500 likes, whatever it might be. Like, not just the usual people going on there and saying, yeah, that's cool. And, you know, we do it. We just try to get our name out there as much as we can. But I looked today. I was actually looking at today's video, which was somewhere around like 700 or something. I'm like, okay, not bad. People are watching. I looked down and I went, you know, my eyes aren't that good right now. It's almost 6,500 views on a Cave Crew Radio TikTok.
Well, that just shows the influence that Mike Jolitz has.
Right, which leads into my double announcement.
Oh, another announcement.
Well, it's not really an announcement. It's first got to become a request before we have acceptance. It'll never happen. So a couple of background stories. Every summer we do a thing called the Endless Summer Beach Party, and we try to get a few good guests on and do a Believe It or What, or, you know, we do things. In the past, with a former co-host and also a fan of the show, we had a thing called Choo Choo Mania. And we even did that the one year with a couples tournament between Jason and Amanda. It was always just named Choo Choo Mania. So last week when Mike Jolitz was live, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't listened or watched, you should go back to it, because I always find it's more fun when someone's live on the show with us.
Absolutely.
It was a great show. We had a ball. That replacing the now retired Choo Choo Stu, who's still healthy and well, over in London, England, and I believe he still listens to the show, is we need a replacement for a major event. And you actually came up with the name for this, Big B, and I really like it. We are proposing to have the Jolitz Jamboree. No audio, nothing ready. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. It happened on the pre-show. The Jolitz Jamboree. So Mike Jolitz was here. He might be gone. He might be at work. I know he listens to the whole show. Mike, we don't quite have the framework yet, but leave it to our brilliance because we don't know the answer. What do we do, Big B?
We make it up.
We make it up as we go. The Jolitz Jamboree, ladies and gentlemen.
Now,
to have this summer.
Keep in mind, for those any new listeners that don't know what Choo Choo Mania was, think of it as the WrestleMania of radio.
Yeah.
So we had the very first one. We had very first one, and the second one, we had events that the combatants had to go through, whether it's, answering questions and eating hot peppers and all of this and doing various things to see who comes out the winner. So with the retirement of Stu, we retired Choo Choo Mania, and we like to replace it with the Jolitz Jamboree. Still the same premise, the kind of WrestleMania of radio for this year, where
it could be like a Twitter shits battle.
It very well could be,
or the sky's the limit. Suggestions, cavecrewradio@gmail.com. Post it on our Facebook page at Cave Crew Radio. We're open to all ideas. This will be the major festival of 2023.
That's right.
As long as we get Mike's sign off. But now that he's exclusive to us, he really doesn't have a choice.
It is officially, unofficially official.
Yeah.
Officially called the Jolitz Jamboree.
Yeah. And by the way, he doesn't give himself enough credit, ladies and gentlemen. If you were not with us last week, he was reluctant for probably 3 years to come on live with us other than a quick phone call or whatever. Amazing job. Fun show.
And he texted me after the show. He said he had a great time. And of course I said, anytime you're available, please come on. There's no, can I come? Anytime you're available, you come on.
Big B and I get really sick of each other. It's it's nice to have a third wheel to pick on.
I think that's why Scotty left.
He just was ridiculous. That's it for Doubles Night, I believe. Well, we do have the second Twitter shit. I'm going to leave it over to you, Big B. What do you want to do next? We got Mike reads the news. We got our stories. We got Talking FLA. You might want to jump into Talking FLA over the news, and we'll defer it another week again. I don't know, because there's a certain thing that you like that happens in a couple of the Talking FLA stories. Again, people that listen will know what you're really excited about.
Talking FLA, Florida has three news stories. So I say we can do those. Then we jump into some more Twitter shits. We'll bullshit a little bit and jump into some Mike reads the news. How's that sound?
All right, we still have time. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we throw in this. It's another little segment that we do. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the show, if you're a first-time listener, feel free to share the show, tell a friend about it, let somebody know. Ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea what that window is, but I'll close it. Talking FLA.
Cave Crew Radio presents Florida in the news.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking FLA. The first story comes from.
Well, I didn't bring it up yet. You're way ahead of me here.
Well, there you go. The first story of the night comes from not Florida, but Denver. But there's
But
a
on the
Florida
way
tie.
to Florida.
But there's a Florida tie into it. Headline reads: belligerent Frontier passenger allegedly strikes attendant with intercom phone at Denver International Airport.
I don't think she just struck her.
We have to again. We'll talk about it because the story is very short, and we will have to make things up.
Okay.
A Frontier Airlines attendant was struck with an intercom phone by a belligerent passenger who was asked to deplane the aircraft at Denver International Airport Sunday morning, according to a statement from the airline. The female passenger, identified by police as Shuri Turner, was arrested and charged with assault, according to the Denver Police Department. She was cited, released, and booked another flight home. The Frontier flight was headed to Tampa, Florida, and parked at the gate in Concourse A around 3:55 a.m. when the alleged disturbance occurred. Turner was asked to deplane while waiting for the flight to depart. The alleged assault occurred while airline personnel were escorting her off the plane. The extent of the employee's injuries was not known. Police said officers assisted Turner with booking another flight. Belligerent. That's it. Yeah. Police officers assisted Turner with booking another flight home.
Now, the reason we picked this story, ladies and gentlemen, because if you haven't picked up over the past several weeks, we've noticed that Big B is fascinated with people that throw things.
I love when people are assaulted with odd things
And
that are
I'm
thrown
waiting-
at them.
I'm waiting for a new stinger for throwing things.
See, now this story, I have questions about this story. So we all know the intercom phone that's on an that's on an airplane. It's like the old phone you grew up in the 80s that was on the wall and you pick it up and you hold it.
Yeah.
That's
He's trying to leave the room so the rest of the family doesn't hear what your conversation is.
Right. And you have a 97-foot long cord that,
yes,
that gets wrapped up into a ball like this.
Jack.
And you got to pull
Yeah.
to get to the next room because you got to pull the cord apart.
Yeah.
So that's what's on the wall of the plane. Now the cord isn't that long. It's not your mother's house cord. It's a short little thing. So as they're escorting her off the plane, how does she break free to grab the phone that's like off to the side? Is question one. Question two, the cord isn't that long. So did she rip it off and attack the flight attendant with it?
It just started banging her, like whipping her.
Just beating her like fucking like this is Goodfellas getting pistol whipped.
Like what's his name?
Henry Hill. When Henry Hill,
you think how funny?
when Henry Hill walks across the street to beat that guy's face,
yeah,
with his pistol, that's what she's doing with the intercom, just bashing the woman. Don't you ever say that again. Ever. You hear me? You understand me? If I ever hear you say that again, I'm coming back. You got me?
My question is, was the modulator on? Could the people hear it over the speakers?
I don't know, but that's the question. Did she rip it out? If she ripped it out, then no, you can't hear it because you've broken the wires. But like, where was it in relation to where she was being escorted off the plane? And you figure if she's being escorted, somebody like has her, like is at least holding her arm.
Yes.
Right. So to prevent things like this.
But we've learned from all these stories that we tell that the people that are under the duress, they're mad.
Right.
They have very quick reflexes and they react very quickly to their surroundings. And the only thing that she could find was the intercom.
And this was at 3:55 in the morning.
Yeah.
So she could have been high on something, drunk. You know, you're sitting in the airport bar waiting for the flight. there's a whole host of things that she could be on.
Now, I don't know if you've noticed this, just on a side note, but one thing that amazes me whenever I go to the airports in the United States, whether I'm flying to Florida or Nashville or wherever I'm going, it amazes me that at 6 o'clock in the morning, I can have a Bloody Mary or whatever I choose to have, a Grand Marnier with my coffee. The bars are 24/7. Is that part of the problem? I don't know. Most of us are responsible, I would think, but
I don't think at that point, like, the airline is just making money, right? The airport is making money, so they could care less. They're keeping it open because there's business there. Like, nobody's going to Aubon Payne at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
They're going to the bar to get a drink.
Right. The only people you see, like you see families at McDonald's or whatever is there. But trust me, ask Isbia. I don't know if she's out there, but you go to the bar morning, afternoon, whenever it is, you're waiting. Everyone wants to go to the bar and have a drink.
Right. Yep. Everyone wants to go to the bar. And there's always one old guy there, like in every bar you ever go to at 11 o'clock in the morning when they first open, there's the old guy at the corner of the bar drinking shots. Same thing in the airport.
Yeah.
There's an old guy at the end of the bar drinking shots no matter what time he's there.
But what's amazing about the airport, Big B, I want to add to that is I turn to the wife and I go, I know it's only 6:30 in the morning, but we have an hour or two. Do you want to go to the bar? And so we kind of walk in there thinking, oh my God, they're going to think we're crazy. And everyone is having a grand old time. They're having omelets and fucking shots of whiskey. Like, if you want to go to a party scene, ladies and gentlemen, go to an airport. It's crazy. Back to this lady, though. Was this plane in flight or had it not even left yet?
It had not left yet. It was waiting to depart.
So she freaked out even before she was heading back to Tampa.
Right. Even before she was heading back, she flipped out for whatever, and it doesn't say why either. So this story, one, doesn't give information about the actual assault itself, and two, doesn't say why it happened. What was wrong with her? Was there a delay? Did her baggage get lost? Was there an argument beforehand? Nothing.
Was the stewardess concussed?
I don't know.
We don't know that.
We don't know. We don't know anything about this story other than there was an assault with an intercom. So we just make it up.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to say is
I'm seeing her, like two stewardesses, which are probably in high heels, trying to walk around, and she looks over. She's looking around. Should I grab a Perrier water, or holy shit? There's the phone. And she grabs that. And like you said, I don't know how long the cord is. I think it's longer than what you think because they grab it and they get in front of you and they go, if we crash, grab down the airbag and put on the floaty. And this is what, and they're quite animated when they go through it. It's actually the best animation of death I've ever seen. They almost make it fun, right? We're crashing. We're heading into the ocean or we're going to smash into dry land. Here's what we need you to do. Lift up your arm, pull down the oxygen mask, wrap the elastic band around, make sure you're safe, breathe. Then under your seat, grab the life vest, pull it in, blow into the life vest, move your mask, blow into the life vest. Now pray for your fucking life and scream.
As you're hurtling towards the peak of a mountain at 900 miles an hour.
But have you ever noticed how animated and calm they are? It's almost like watching like a little Einsteins in concert or something. It's wonderful. I'm not scared at all.
I think they do that to entertain themselves because they do this like how many times a day, how many times a week. They do the same spiel over and over and over again. So I think they do it to entertain themselves.
But think about it. You're going to die. no matter what we tell you, you're going to crash. We're going to burn. You're going to explode. Your body's going to be in 40 different places. But here's what we'd like you to do beforehand. Don't pray. Don't take communion. Don't grab the woman next to you and start making out. Grab the mask. Take the elastic band.
And make sure you do yours before you help others.
Yes. Next time you're on the plane, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to how animated they are. It's great. I sit there and I'm like, oh, yeah. Death is a great thing. I can't wait to crash. I really hope we hit turbulence, and I could care less what the featured movie is or the crackers and peanuts they give me. I wanna get a chance to put the mask in the floaty device on.
The mask and a floaty device.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, that's that. So the next one's not bad either. We have a story about I believe it's a pink dress. This is the only photo that came with it, by the way. A pink dress and a stolen tractor.
Yes, this next story comes from the Miami Herald. Headline reads, "Woman in pink dress steals $120,000 tractor, and then it got weird."
So wait a minute. In your book, is that weird?
Where I'm from, yes.
Yeah, me too. Okay. But then it got really, really weird.
Right.
Okay.
Because this is Florida, so stealing a $120,000 tractor in a pink dress is probably a normal Tuesday.
Okay, got you. I will remind you, I've been there twice now, 3 times. Never seen any of this shit. I don't know
to
where
the tourist places. That's where the you got to go to the inner cities.
We need
you got to
that
get away
map,
from the
Mike
tourists.
Jolitz. You told us you were going to make that map.
Oh, we got to talk to Mike Jolitz about that.
Yeah, remember he said he was going to make that map.
Yep.
We can. Anyway, pink dress, stolen tractor.
A woman wearing a pink dress is accused of carrying out a series of odd thefts in a rural Florida community, one of which involved riding off on someone's $120,000 John Deere tractor. Why
Yeah,
the 40
like the cops wouldn't notice that.
Why the 46-year-old wanted the tractor is unclear, but detectives note it was not the strangest thing taken during the spree.
Oh no.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I've never been more ready.
Bed sheets, blue jeans, toiletries, camouflage wading boots, several packages of frozen venison, and a bottle of wine were also stolen from a home.
Can you do that again? Bed sheets, blue jeans,
toiletries, camouflage wading boots, in case you wanted to go fly fishing.
Right.
And several packages of frozen venison and a bottle of wine.
And a pink dress on a tractor.
The woman is also accused of sleeping in one of the victim's beds.
This is beginning to sound like Goldilocks.
At last count, the suspect was facing 3 misdemeanors and a whopping 35 felonies, with more possible. Investigators say the crimes occurred May 6th in the Kathleen area, about 30 miles northeast of Tampa. A neighbor was the first to report something suspicious after seeing a female in a pink dress was driving a tractor in the area. It's not often you see a woman stealing a John Deere tractor while wearing a pink dress, the sheriff's office wrote on Facebook. A farm property manager managed to detain the suspect when the tractor, a nice big John Deere Model 6120R, stalled. The deputies arrived and arrested her. They found the woman had a knife. With
$200,000 tractor, $200,000 tractor. Stalled.
Well, she doesn't know how to drive it. She stalled it.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a stick shift.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it would be an automatic.
Okay. I've never driven a tractor, Big B. I apologize. I'm a city guy. I'm urban. I'm not rural.
They found the woman had a knife with a 5-inch blade, along with other people's credit and debit cards, social security cards, a driver's license, and a dental plan card.
Other people's credit cards.
You never know when you need a good dentist, you have that dental plan card in tow. The suspect became irate when deputies attempted to put her in a patrol car. She kicked and cursed at deputies and even made a death threat or two on them. Charges in the case include grand theft burglary of an unoccupied dwelling, unlawful possession, possession of a concealed weapon, and battery on a law enforcement officer. That's it.
That was wonderful. I think I wrote down like 3 things.
That was great.
I enjoyed that one. And we tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we pick these stories. Obviously, Florida. I normally just read the headline, and I'm usually, well, sometimes I'm disappointed, but the majority of the time I'm very pleasantly surprised. Like I thought the plain one would be better, but so far I like this one.
Well, that's why I put it in order. Like you lead off with the okay one, and you get better as you go along.
But this one is really the one I'm looking forward to, and it was the one that you had for the closing of Talking FLA.
That's right.
It happens more than once when we mention Florida. This gentleman is apparently not of this world, and he also does something that you normally find pleasure in.
Well, he may be of this world, but not of this time.
Oh, not of this time. I apologize. He's a time traveler.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This next story comes from the Ocala News. Man claiming to be a time traveler throws brick through window to quote unquote save homeowners.
What did he do? He threw the brick.
Threw the brick. I love when people throw things. A 37-year-old man claiming to be a time traveler was arrested, and he told Ocala police that he threw a brick through a home window to save the occupants from a future event. On Saturday night.
Hang on. I know I'm not totally on my game, and I can't find my mouse. Can you say that? Wait a minute. Say it again. He did what?
He threw a brick through a home window to save the occupants from a future event.
What event is this?
A future event.
Well, what's you're so down? Me and you got to make up the future event. I know it. I knew it.
On Saturday, May 13th, an Ocala Police Department officer responded to a local residence in reference to a possible burglary. Upon arrival, the officer made contact with the victims who owned the home. The victims told the officer that a loud crash woke them up, and they heard their baby crying. When they checked on their baby, they observed that a bassinet filled with stuffed animals was on the ground, and the window was smashed. They advised that a large brick was also found on the floor. In addition, the victims stated that they found a book outside of their home near the front door, and it did not belong to them.
What was the book?
We're going to make it up.
Okay, so we got
the officer walked,
and we got to make up why they threw the brick through the window. This is when I really feel great, is when my creative juices get going.
The officer walked around the perimeter of the victim's home and noted in the report that the gate to the backyard was open. The officer observed the broken window, and the window screen was found on the ground. The back door to the victim's pool was also opened. The victims informed the officer that prior to the incident, the gate was secure and the screen was on the window. Several officers canvassed the neighborhood in an attempt to locate a nearby security camera, and a residence was observed that had an open front door. The officers made contact with one of the home's occupants who identified himself as Daniel Robert Dinkins.
You've got to write this down. He's got to be in the audio play.
Well, I have to go back to the page. Hold on.
Daniel Robert Dinkins.
This is the Weaver's story. I got to find the page where it is so I can write it
Ladies
down.
and gentlemen, while he's doing that, so here's where we're at. We have a time traveler in Florida who threw a brick through a window to save people. This is not a bad deed. He's saving people. And there was a book that did not belong to them on the front lawn. This is interesting.
According to the OPD report, the officers told Dinkins that they were in the neighborhood investigating a burglary that had occurred down the road. Dinkins spontaneously told the officers, "That may have been me." He further informed the officers that he had gone swimming at the victim's home and threw a brick through the window. After being read his Miranda rights, Dinkins admitted that he broke into the victim's residence to go swimming in their pool, and he left a book on the front door because he wanted to share the book with them.
Ooh.
Dinkins further admitted that he had grabbed a brick and used it to break the window. The OPD report stated that Dinkins told investigators that he was a time traveler and needed to save the victims from an event that is going to occur in the future. During the post-Miranda interview, Dinkins advised that he was unaware that a baby was inside the room when he broke the window. He also told investigators that he was trying to save the baby from something way in the future, when the child is much older. If he didn't know the baby was there, how was he trying to save it? Dinkins was arrested, transported to Marion County Jail.
Why was he swimming?
There's a lot of questions in this story. Dinkins was arrested, transported to Marion County Jail, and he was released the same day on $15,000 bond. He was facing a felony charge for burglary of an occupied dwelling. The court date has not been scheduled yet.
Let me clarify something. If you and I get a parking ticket, we're probably going to go to jail for 30 days. Time travelers who swim in people's pools, leave books on their door, and throw bricks in babies' windows are scheduled for a later date.
And are free on bond, yes.
This is the problem with Florida.
I can't disagree. So, to sum up the events that we have to now decipher.
Yeah.
We don't know what event was going to occur way in the future when the baby was much older.
Right.
We don't know what book was left on the front porch that he wanted to share with the family.
Right.
So now we have to come to our own conclusions.
Plus, we don't know why he broke in to swim.
And we don't know what time he actually came from as a time traveler.
I don't know if we have enough time to decode all this. So he's swimming, and I'm thinking of Cocoon. Remember that movie?
Yes, I remember Cocoon, when the old people went into the pool and came out young.
Right. So perhaps as a time traveler, he needed an energy force and he needed to swim in the pool. Even though he lived down the street and had a house, he obviously didn't have a pool. He needed to bathe himself to rejuvenate himself to continue to be able to travel.
So I'll say he came from the year 2365, and
Right.
in the year 2365,
He's going backwards. See, I'm thinking he's coming. All right, yeah, I got you. Okay,
no, he has
so-
to go back because he's saving the family from a future event. So he has
right.
to
I got you. Okay, all right.
So he came from the year 2365. In the year 2365, there is an energy crisis, and the only thing that can revive people is water, which is in short supply. There are no pools. There is a one source of water left in the country, and it's controlled by a warlord. He has to go back. Now, he is a history buff because he's too far in the future. That family would have been long dead. He's 2365. We're in the year 2023. He's read his history. This young baby would grow up to be a world leader that would be assassinated, and that
Oh.
would lead to the 100 Years' War that led to the warlord hoarding the water in 2365.
Right. So if the baby lives, the baby will find a way to make water from like stone or something.
Correct.
And peace would be on the world. In the book that he leaves on the front porch is the Adventures of Huck Finn.
I'm all for it.
Because that happens on the water. And
That happens
somewhere
on the water.
along there, Tom Sawyer's painting the motherfucker's fence, right?
That's right.
And Huck Finn and him go on all these adventures with Indian Joe or whatever his name was. But there's water involved.
Yes. And that's the story that he wants to
Somehow
share
that
with the family.
With the baby and the book, like, you know, you went through communion, the Bible, you know, the all the amendments you have that was written back in the day that led to the United States becoming such a prosperous country. The Adventures of Huck Finn, and the baby that was almost damaged by a brick.
Mm-hmm.
So he dove into the water thinking in 2023 he would evaporate if he didn't restore his energy inside the water.
Right.
Grabbed whatever was available to him, which was the brick, threw it through the window, because he also probably believed there was another time traveler who would also come back to destroy the Messiah, or whatever you might call him, the leader of tomorrow. And he thought there was a natural gas leak inside the house, and he had to exit that event.
Aerate the house.
And we're looking at this gentleman. Let's bring him on stage. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why you can't go by first impressions.
This young man, Daniel Robert Dinkins, from the year 2365, is here to save future generations from the water hoarding warlord.
Yes. AKA Special Agent Dinkins.
He's on special assignment. He's coming back from the future, like Michael J. Fox going back to 1955.
Now, you also mentioned that he was put out on bond.
$15,000 bond.
Right, so means he's free.
Yes.
Did he transport back to the future to report to his commanders or whatever they are to say mission success? Or will he show up in court to give this ridiculous story to a judge?
Again, the story does not tell us these things, only that he's out on bond. So we have to assume that because he did escape custody, he went back to the year 2365 to talk to his what'd you say, bosses, his overlords, whatever.
Yeah, whatever they want to be.
Whatever they want to be.
Yeah,
And
his underground community, whatever they are. They're the rebels. They're whatever they are. They're trying to revert history.
And I think once the court date is levied, because he is a higher plane of thought, he can feel that the court date is set. He will appear in the court like Star Trek, like when they beam somebody, he will beam into the courtroom like Star Trek, face the judge, and automatically be cleared of all charges and beam back to 2365.
Because he changed the future. So like this smartwatch I have that like tells me my heartbeat. He has the ability to press that and transmit himself to another time.
To another time. That is absolutely correct.
Rip out the pages of the Weavers. The Weavers are nothing. This is our next. This is what is going to make us famous. This is the movie that will catapult us so we never have to work again.
I'm all for it. What's his name? Daniel Daniel Robert Dinkins.
Dr. Dinkins.
Dr. Dinkins.
Excuse me.
Where's my pen? Oh, there's my pen. Are you writing that down? Because I was going to write that down. I'm writing it down anyway.
Well, yeah, you need something. So you write it down. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got tonight for one of our favorite segments. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Dr. Dinkins. There he is again, ladies and gentlemen. One more time for you.
There's no greater time traveler than Dr. Dinkins.
Dr. Dinkins, the time traveler. We filled in all the blanks. I hate that camera angle, so I don't like that one either. This is more. There we go. All right, are we ready for another Twitter shits?
I believe we are.
All right, let's go to another Twitter shits, ladies and gentlemen. Just a quick recap. Bill tugging his skin was the best. We're hoping for something better on this one. Twitter shits, ladies and gentlemen, from Mike Jolitz.
Mike Jolitz Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Jolitz Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Jolitz Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads the fucking shit. All right. All right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Twitter shit. Alrighty, guys, this is where I take a story and I tell you what Twitter had to say about it. Alrighty, guys, on today's episode, we are once again talking about Brittany Griner. Yeah, she's back in the WNBA. In fact, her first game back, they averaged 683,000 viewers on ESPN. She's back. No one cares except 683,000 people, which is 0.1% of the population. Woo. Yeah. So they started out the season 0-2, everybody. Not exactly a hot start.
And here we go with Twitter comments.
At Schmuck tweeted, people acting like she's a hero. Aaron needs lovin'. Tweeted out the top 6 TV shows that were on at the same time. Number 1, Matlock. 2, Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. Number 3, Teletubbies. Number 4, Northern Exposure. Number 5, Xena Warrior Princess. And finally, at number 6, Brittany Griner's WNBA game. At Scott Old McDonald tweeted, I'd watch if he was still in Russia. At I Have a Big Scrotum tweeted, he played pretty well for being in prison for all that time. At Eric Sadick tweeted, I wanted to watch, but then I realized I had something to do. I had to wash the dishes, but I'm sure it was a spectacular game. At Colleen Littletits tweeted, I wouldn't pay money to see her. Hell, I wouldn't go for free. At Tijuana Donkey Show tweeted, who's the guy in the picture?
He had Brittany Griner.
At Dirty Jack tweeted, why is this on my NFL feed? At No Soup For You tweeted, what's the WNBA? At Filthy McNasty tweeted, I'd rather watch my toenails grow. And from the female delegation, at Wanda Clint tweeted, I didn't watch. At Lick My Balloon Not tweeted, about the same as the broadcasted cornhole tournament this weekend. At Aaron Three Balls tweeted out, wait, she's out of jail and back on TV? And the WNBA season started already? At Brandon Bobs tweeted, what a true American hero. At Jorge tweeted, I'd rather watch snow on my old black and white TV than watch her. At Paul Tortuga tweeted, people just tuning in to see if she got booed and then turning it off. At Marco Polo tweeted, 683,000 watched. Is that good for the WNBA? At Safe Ferris tweeted, I wonder how many of those 683,000 viewers were just people who left ESPN on the TV. At My Name is Larry, this is my brother Daryl, and that's my other brother Daryl, tweeted, that dude can't ball, even though he has 2. At Ken K. Boyd tweeted, I must have missed the Brad Griner dudes game. I was dropping a deuce. And finally, in the Twitter shits, at Long Duck Dong tweeted, checking the radar, looking for someone who cares. Alrighty, guys, that does it for this, the Twitter shits. I'll be back soon with another episode. Yeah. All right, back to the show. Later. Bye-bye.
Mike Joe is Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Joe is Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads it. Mike Joe is Twitter shit. You write the tweets and he reads the fucking shit. All right. All right.
Sorry, just that was fast. All right. Honorable mention to Ken K. Lloyd responding to that tweet. I don't know if you saw that.
I don't see anything. All I see is the one Mike Jolet's comment. I don't see anything else.
No. When he said Ken K. Lloyd tweeted.
Oh, I thought you were looking in chat.
No. All right, so this one's better than the last one. Number 5, 2 on a Donkey Show.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, I have a big scrotum.
That was my favorite.
Okay, I'll mark that. Sorry, down the list for me. Number 3, Aaron needs loves.
Mm-hmm.
I was struggling between I was struggling between Colleen Little Tits, Long Duck Dong for the number 2.
Okay.
But I have a favorite, and maybe you don't agree with me, but I got a weird sense of humor. My favorite one was No Soup for You.
No Soup for You is the other winner. I also liked, just because I like the reference, I liked Save Ferris.
Yeah. And Brother Daryl, another Brother Daryl, but it's a frenzy, ladies and gentlemen. You just can't write that quick.
He does good work.
Yeah, he does great work. Now, we're closing in. Should we go right to Mike Reads the News?
I believe so.
Or
I believe so.
Find my mouse again. All right, let's get that out of there. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a double-double. It's a double night is what it is. But Mike Jolis Reads the News is always fun, so we're going to pull that up for you, making things really easy for me and Big B, because in all reality, though, we really worked hard on that time traveler story.
All on the fly. None of when we make these things up for these stories, none of this is talked about prior.
No, I don't even read the stories. I read the headlines and send them to you. You send me an order, and there we go. But I'm going to post the time traveler thing on TikTok and see if we break a new record. Mike Reads the News.
And now, Cave Crew Radio presents Mike Reads the News with Mike Jolitz.
Hello, Cave Crew Radio. How are you guys doing tonight? Hello to you, DK, and hello, Sir Big B. And I hope you guys are doing good. Today is Friday, May the 26th. Yeah, it's a 3-day weekend, guys, so let's do some news and let's have some fun. All right, here we go. Time for Mike Reads the News. Pre-ticket sales of the live-action Little Mermaid movie in China have been a huge disappointment. There was only $13,000 in sales in all of China. That was like first 3 days. Nice. Congrats to Jan Brady, who is closing in on 400 episodes. That's impressive. I wonder where I ended up. I don't care. The Lakers were eliminated from the NBA playoffs. That makes me happy to see. They lost to the Nuggets. The Stanley Cup Finals is almost set. Florida Panthers play the winner of the Las Vegas Knights / Dallas Stars Conference Finals. Dallas won last night, but are down by 2 games, and they got to win out to go to the finals. Best of luck. The Washington Commanders lost their bid to trademark the Commander's name. Should have just kept the Redskins name, you know? Bubba Wallace flipped the bird on live TV after the NASCAR race last weekend. It was in the pits. It wasn't aimed at the crowd, apparently. That's what NASCAR says anyway. Bubba won't be penalized. In fact, he got a participation trophy instead. And going back a ways in the news, because I had forgotten all about this, British singer Ed Sheeran did not steal what basically made up the Marvin Gaye tune, Let's Get It On. So no copyright infringement for him. He's going to continue making shitty music. Alrighty, guys, that does it for the news. It is now time for just a few tidbits. Not too many. They're not headlines. They're just little tiny pieces of shit. Yeah. Wrestling legend superstar Billy Graham died. Oh, no. Carmelo Anthony of the New York Knicks announced he's retiring after 19 years. Oh, yeah. Music icon Tina Turner died on Wednesday. She was 83. Oh, no. And finally, in the tidbits, Shenry is still on level 36 in Pokemon Go. Slacker. Oh, yeah. Alrighty, guys, that does it for the news. That does it for the tidbits. I am out of here. I will be back, guys. Hopefully, I'll be back soon live on Cave Crew Radio. But until then, you can catch me like this. All right, later, guys. Bye-bye.
Mike Jolis. Was a fun show last week.
I loved when he did the tidbits last week, and he did, oh, yeah, live.
Yeah.
That was great.
And you and I got to go. It was so much fun. Since you've had a toddler, right? Like, I mean, you know as well as I do, when you have a child, I don't know about you, but I've been strange my whole life. I talk to my dogs. I do weird things when I need to be serious and make money and make proper decisions. I do so. But the best part was having a baby, and you can do things like, you can like do weirdest things, and no one would question it because you've got a baby.
Why do I think that you do these things like when nobody's home, you go into the bathroom, look in the mirror, and do to yourself?
Look, when I get home, I always say, top of the day to the wife, love you, check in on the kid. The dogs are my favorite because we just talk about the most interesting thing. And then, like, tomorrow's Saturday, tomorrow's the weekend. They'll be very excited that I'm not walking out the door and going to work. And the dogs, lose a dog breaks my heart. I'm sorry. Like, it absolutely wrecks me. I have family members that I'd spit, to be honest with you. Lose a dog, it kills me.
But you're not a cat person. I don't get people who aren't cat people. I've had cats my entire life.
Walked by the other night in front of like, what the fuck are you doing? My dog comes to me for treats. My dog sits when I say sit. My dog gives me kisses. My dog is excited when I get home. I've had cats. They could care fucking less about me.
That is true. But cats are great when they come up and they like my one cat is the runt of our cats. At night, she'll come up and lay on my chest.
Cats? How many do you have?
I have 3. I have 3 cats.
Oh my God.
The runty cat will come up and lay on my chest, and I'll pet her, and she'll just be perfectly content just laying on my chest. And it's a comfy watching TV with the cat on my chest, petting her. It's fine.
Yet the dogs are not allowed to come up.
No. They are big and they're stupid. They are not allowed to come up on the couch. I have big dogs.
Well, I have one big dog and one small dog, but both of them are more than welcome to jump on the bed, separate me from my partner, and they love me.
We have to have the gate. We have to have the upstairs gated off. so the dogs don't go upstairs because you need separation for the cats. Cats and the dogs have to be separated because they will fight. So you have to have a place where the cats can jump over the gate and just go upstairs and be fine, and the dogs will just sit by the gate watching, waiting.
Can we get a live stream of the cats and the dogs fighting, and we can?
I don't know if you, because it's spontaneous. It's not all the time, right? So like my cats will be walking through the living room, and one of my dogs will stand there and stare at them, and maybe come close and sniff them. And like if I see that happening, I'll call the dog off, and the dog will walk away. But like if I don't see that happening, 6 times out of 10, there's nothing going to happen. The dog will just sniff. The cats will walk. 40% of the time they'll fight, but you don't know when that's going to happen. So I don't know if I can live stream that. It'd be an awfully boring live stream.
Film one though? Could you?
I could try.
I'd love to see the big dog beating the shit out of the cat, which belongs in an alley.
Oh, the best is when the cat jumps up on the table and smacks the dog. That's fun.
I don't think you are a worthy dog owner.
I prefer cats. My wife likes the dogs. I prefer cats. I openly admit I will take a cat over a dog any day of the week.
We've had this debate many times, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to get to any more news. That'll filter into next week, which makes things easier for us because we know they're there. But to me, I pull up at the end of the day. The wife's usually home first. The son's home. He's lying on the couch because, oh, heaven forbid, he turns 19 next week, and he's been working full time for, well, when did college end? 3 months ago. It's absolutely killing him.
A rough life.
Knows nothing about. And then again, they don't want me to retire. But anyway, that's not the conversation we're having. So I pull up, and the wife's in the driveway. I usually park in front of the house in case they got to go somewhere or whatever. I'm usually first one out. But no one else is allowed to drive the Jeep at this point. So I pull in and I back in. I look to my right. What's in the window but 2 dogs, 3 this week because we're babysitting one. And they're there. And they're staring at me. I open the Jeep. I walk out. I start to walk in with my briefcase, whatever. And they start to go crazy.
I hate that.
They're happy to see. Look, I've just had the most miserable day of my life. Every single day, Monday to Friday. I hate what I do. My boss was there today. He's like, I'm like, don't worry about it, boss. We'll both be gone in a couple of years. Oh, you won't be, he said to me. Oh, fuck you. Oh, yes, I will be. So I do it. It's not a bad job. I do semi-enjoy it. But there's nothing better than when I pull out of the driveway in the morning and the dogs with their faces in the door watching me leave going, oh my God. Or, when I'm in bed, they come up and cuddle. They wake me up at 5 o'clock in the morning and they want to go outside. And I swear, I should have been a wolf pack leader or something. I mean, the relationship I have with these dogs is amazing. And the love they have for me and the love I have for them in return because of it. I have no stress when I'm with them. So tomorrow I'll go get the car washed. Then I'll come back. I'll cut the lawn. They'll want to spend time with me. Maybe I should be a dog. I don't know. Maybe I am a dog, according to 99% of the women I am. But,
to me, that sounds like a codependent relationship. When I come home, like if, me and my wife and the kids are out somewhere and I come home, remember I share a driveway, so I got to pull down the driveway. The garage is in the back. It's not in the front of the house. So I got to pull down the driveway to get in the car. And when I get out of the car to open the garage door, I hear the dogs barking.
because they're excited.
Oh
to
my
see
God,
you.
I don't want to hear them. You get in, you pull the car in the garage, you close the door, you get up to the door, and you open the door. They're right there. They're jumping on you. They're barking. I can't stand it.
I love it.
Leave me
It's like,
alone. Let me get in the goddamn house.
person, you are the most important person in the world to me. And I am so glad to see you. And Lily, my Aussie Shepherd, well, she's not a puppy, she's a year old. Like, I get on the computer to start doing stuff for Cave Crew or Pucks and Pints or whatever. She nods my computer down. Like, it's not irritating to me. It's like, thank you that I am important to you.
Oh, and then before you go out, you got to make sure you dog proof the area. Otherwise, you'll come home to a mess because they tear shit apart.
Well, yeah, you got to be careful.
So that's another thing. My wife loves dogs. I will take a cat over a dog any day of the week and 17 times on Sunday.
No, I like the dogs now when the show's over. It irritates me when I'm eating and they put their nose in and shit like that. It kind of drives me crazy. But, you know, they're going to come up. They're going to cuddle to you on bed. They just love you. I hate cats. Absolutely hate them. They would suck the life out of you if they had the chance.
I will take a cat any day of the week.
You might as well get squirrels in your house.
I grew up with cats. I love cats.
All right, here we go. It's that time. We managed to get ourselves there. No idea what my phone is doing, but it's beeping like crazy. All right. Here's what I have. Of course, Jolet's Jamboree is something we should mention again. Hopefully, Mike has taken notice to it. It's doubles night.
It's doubles night.
Like that one, too. Also, like when Mike Jolet said, Bubba Wallace flipped the bird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was cool. Camouflage wading boots.
Very important.
Yeah. I don't remember when this was from, but I also wrote down, and a dental card.
That was the same story.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yep.
I think I wrote down a lot from that. An interruption of an interruption. I really like that. I think that came from your story
That
of
was
the
my communion story.
I shortened what you were reading, but I really like this one as my favorite. I think it would be awesome. Bed sheets, blue jeans, and toiletries.
Sounds like a good country song.
That's my my nomination today. It probably won't win, but I think I got a lot of quality show notes in there. You weren't writing down a lot. I'm gonna go on a limb and say 4.
I only got 2.
Oh, jeez.
I was too worried about making stories up for the time traveler.
That was oh, it's gonna make a great audiobook / movie.
So the first one is I would think just a show note, but we have to put the time traveler himself in there. D.R. Dinkins.
Yes. I love D.R. Dinkins. I think I wrote that down too somewhere. Oh no, I canceled it because you were
D.R. Dinkins.
Yeah.
And my last one, which would be my nominee for show name, I have no idea where this came from. But somebody said omelets and whiskey. I don't know where that came from.
I don't remember it. No, that was on the when you were in an airport.
Oh, that's right. Yes, the airport bar. That's what you were in there. You were saying, you said you can get omelets and whiskey. So that's my nomination.
And I said, what? Bed sheets, blue jeans, and toiletries. That could be a show note. All right, I'll go with that. Ladies and gentlemen, omelets and whiskey. Which, if you have not traveled internationally, Call me out on that. I guarantee you'll see it. See the strangest things. You'll have a guy with like 2 eggs over easy having a margarita, like at 5 a.m. in the
5
morning.
a.m. Yep.
It's the weirdest thing. We've got lots of stories for next week, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are a fan of Pucks and Pints, we have Jay Vegas apparently scheduled to be live with us.
Nice.
If you're a fan. If not, come back next week. We'll be here again. All right, Big B, as usual, you know what I got to do.
Later.
I really got to pee.
You gotta pee.
All right. See you guys.
Later.
Great show.
I want you to pack up and get out.
Get the hell out of here!
Go. Just go. Get out. Get the hell out.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
When you open your heart to patriotism, there is no room for prejudice.